Welcome to Jessi Fit Pilates, your home to get fit, toned, and flexible as we strengthen, stretch, and smile. It's time to channel your inner Catwoman with this Catwoman chair workout. Today we're focusing on mobility and core strength, spinal articulation, and core strength. Perfect for slinking through Gotham on a cold winter day. Ready to prowl into it? Let's begin. I'm on 2 light springs. I'm on the balanced body exo chair. I'm on 1 spring level 2, 1 spring level 1, but feel free to play around with what works for you. We're going to start with some roll downs. I'm going to stand tall behind the chair. I have my feet about hip width apart, parallel, and I'm going to drop my kitty chin down to my kitty chest, and I'm going to reach my hands down for the pedal. It is a little bit heavy. First, I'm going to just start with a cat-cow, keeping the pedal lifted, and I'm going to round and arch my spine into my cat-cow round. I'm breathing in and I'm breathing out. Now I'm going to hold my spine rounded, and I'm going to push the pedal down. I'm going to hold it down for a second. I'm going to arch my spine, and I'm going to bring it up, and let's do it again. Round my spine, press it down. Now keeping my weight equally distributed between the balls of my feet and my heels. Now I'm going to arch my spine and bring on up. And again, this workout will be all level, but use your discretion. I'm pressing it down and I'm bringing it on up. Just waking up our body nice and slow. And speaking of cat-cow, here comes our resident cat. Watch your head, cat bear. Now let's reverse it. Let's arch on that way up and round. We're rippling down 1 vertebra at a time, arching on that way up, pausing at that bottom, rounding on that way down, arching on that way up, taking a deep breath, rolling back up, and 1 more, flowing like silk. Now, we're gonna come and kneel in front of the chair. And I am going to keep the pedal up for just a second, and I'm gonna just do another cat stretch, just rounding and arching my spine. I do have the pedal all the way up right now. And now I'm gonna set my hips back, and I'm gonna take a child's pose, and I'm still gonna keep that pedal all the way lifted. And I'm gonna do a few of these cat stretches here. Rippling my spine 1 vertebra at a time, inhaling and exhaling. Now I'm just going to take a twist. So I'm going to reach 1 hand. Now I've got the exo chair, it's got that exoskeleton. I'm going to just twist 1 hand underneath 1 armpit, exhaling, and then inhaling, and then exhaling over to that other side. Let's do that 1 more. Each way. We are going to move into the main body of our workout, into our footwork. We're gonna move with some precision and grace. Now, this will be a little bit light for footwork for some folks. So just be aware that we are focusing on mobility. So the chair is gonna be a little bit lighter than what I would do for my own footwork. So first, let's just have a seat with your feet on the floor, and let's just do a few arches and rounds here. A few cat-cows here. And then I'm rounding and arching my whole spine. And then what I usually like to do here is I like to ask folks to isolate. So imagine you were holding a book on your ears, your kitty ears, and you don't want to drop the book. Could you isolate just your lower spine? Or could you keep that book still on top of your kitty ears and just round and arch your lower spine? Right? Now let's go ahead and push the pedal down. Right now, I'm gonna keep my lower spine really still as I do this. So just imagine that book on top of your kitty ears, right? Pressing down. And the idea is the further down you push that pedal, the harder it's gonna be to maintain that really, really still, that neutral pelvis. Now hold for just a second. Now I want you to round your spine intentionally. I'm gonna round the whole spine. Now press the pedal down and arch it. So this is why I wanted it light. Now we're rounding it, rounding it, rounding it. And that's why we're gonna go slow. And we're arching it, arching it, arching it. And round, round, round. And arch, arch, arch. I'm just gonna do a few more. Round, round, round. I'm taking my hands underneath of my neck. Now from here, I'm gonna take my hands down and I'm gonna bring my toes to the corners. I'm gonna lift my heels high. And I'm gonna just press the pedal down and up. And I'm gonna bring my hands back to behind my kitty ears. And I'm gonna side bend as I press on that pedal. And I'm gonna lift the pedal as I come to the center. And I'm gonna go ahead and side bend as I press it down. Right, I'm sitting tall on that chair. Keeping that spine nice and long. Now, if you wanted to make it a little bit more challenging, you could take your hands up and really reach over, right? Like a fern. And now finally, I'm gonna go onto the heels for just a second, just pressing down and up, down and up. I'm gonna keep my feet flat. And now go ahead and start to twist and then come center. Twist. Now final end on it, you can arch as you twist, right? Arch, really releasing the spine and then center. Remember, your spine is the star here. And center, let's go 3. And 2. Really rotate, separating those shoulders away, separating those elbows away from each other. And then bring it on center. Now I'm going to go ahead and I am going to just reach for my toes and we're going to come into some standing hamstring presses and stretches. So these will be a little bit heavy. I won't keep us here for too long. Remember, these are meant to mobilize your kitty paws and legs. So I'm going to start with one leg on there. If you're mirroring me, it might be your left. This is my right, but I'm gonna have one foot up. I'm gonna slight turn out. Totally parallel will be incredibly hard. I'm on my toes and I'm gonna push the pedal down. And you're welcome to lighten it, but I find that most people seem to like it heavier. Keep in mind, lighter will probably want to be more balanced. You're always welcome to hold onto something. And I'm gonna just push that pedal and release. Power through. All right, power through it tighter. Just a few more here. Now press it and reach. Now hold it about halfway down, and I want you to keep the pedal still and just mobilize through the ankle. Press, try to keep the pedal, somewhat still, and just sort of press the pedal down and up through, just moving through the ankle. We're keeping the knee still, really. I guess that's what I meant to say. 3 more. 2, 1. Now I'm going to lift the pedal up, and I'm going to reach my leg right on top, and I'm going to reach my hands up, and I'm not much to look at. I'm not super flexible, and I'm going to reach towards my toes. I'm going to come up and just over, and one more time up, and then over. Now, I'm gonna stay on this side, which means I am gonna give you the back view, which might be good for you to see. I just don't feel like moving the chair. I think it's gonna take more time to get to, but I'm gonna take this leg, right? So part of the reason it's nice to be in the back view, when I take the leg that I was just working, and I want that to be outside leg, and I'm gonna press that down. Now, I'm not gonna bring the pedal all the way up. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. It will challenge your balance. And then I'm gonna push it down. You can have your hand down there, and it's really gonna stretch out the side here. Press it. And I'm really more interested in getting that side stretch. If you're a little more flexible, I think if you step away from the chair, I am not that flexible, so this feels good. Press, and you can start to pulse it, right? Push, 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 and then hold. And now I'm gonna start to side bend and come up. Now I'm gonna hold that pedal down and do a few side bends here. Exhaling and inhaling. And now I'm gonna lift that pedal on up. And let's switch sides, okay? So let's go on to that left side. And I am going to take my left toes onto the pedal. I'm going to lift my left heel up high, and I'm going to push that pedal down and then up. And I'm keeping my hips as level as I can. I'm going to slight turn out. I'm exhaling and inhaling. And now I'm going to hold that pedal about halfway down, and I'm going to really mobilize that ankle now. Keeping the knee relatively still. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Let's go 5 more here. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to lift that pedal all the way up. And I'm going to reach this leg on top. And I'm going to reach this hands up. And I'm going to just give that a little bend. And I'm going to reach forward and then come up. Inhaling on that up. And then exhaling. Like I said, I'm not super flexible here. And one more time. Now I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to face you this time, and this is the outside leg, and that is going to be pressing the pedal down. Now I'm going to keep the pedal pretty low to the ground. I can always hold on. You can use a foam roller. And I'm going to lift this pedal and press, right? I'm facing you sideways, right? Lifting and pressing. And I'm really going to start to push. A few more here. Now I'm going to hold this down. I'm going to reach this arm up, and I'm going to take it overhead. Right? Moving with feline grace and control. Really stretching through that side. Powering through that glute as I open through that side. Harder than it looks, strength and stability. One more time overhead. Now I'm going to carefully lift this pedal up. Now we're going to be going into Mermaids, everybody's favorite. I'm going to lighten this pedal. I'm going to take out the lighter spring. That's going to leave me with 1 spring on level 2. I'm going to sit almost pigeon style. Right, so I'm sitting on, it's my left, it might be your right hip if you're facing me. I'm going to level off my hips, and I'm going to reach out, and then I'm going to reach my hand, one hand, that close hand to that pedal. I'm going to push it down, and I'm going to reach overhead, keeping that outside foot to the floor. Now, if you're petite, stash a block or something underneath your foot to keep stability on that hip, so you're able to keep it. If that hip foot is lifting, that hip is going to not really stay stable. Right? Feel the stretch all through that side body, from that ankle to that hip to that shoulder. And let's come on up and over again. Inhaling and exhale. One more time. And now I'm gonna hold it just for a moment, and we are gonna do some little swans in this mermaid position. And then we're gonna do some push-ups, bend and stretch. And then we're gonna come up and we are going to switch sides, darling. Let's come right up, right, sitting on the hip, anchoring through the foot, pressing down, anchoring the hips and reaching over, and then up. You're inhaling up and exhaling over. Let's do one more here, keeping shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip, gauging the abs. And let's start to twist towards that pedal. Lifting up for that mermaid stretch. Dropping the pedal down. Lifting the pedal up. Flowing into that mermaid. Inhaling and exhaling. Extending through the arms. And now holding, and let's do our push-ups. And let's come on up. So let's come down to a kneeling position, and let's come down to a kneeling side kick position. So I'm facing side, and I've got my knee right underneath my shoulder, outside leg totally in line. And I'm on that light setting, and I'm gonna just press that pedal down, and then bring it on up. And I'm gonna push it down, and bring it on up. Now I'm gonna push it down, and I'm gonna hold it there, and I'm gonna now press that pedal down. And from here, I am going to start to lower all the way down and start to lower. And then from here, I'm gonna just bring that pedal down and hold it down. And then I'm gonna start to twist and read. So I'm gonna start to thread the needle. And then from here, I'm gonna dip and lower the hips. Now after that, I'm gonna bring that pedal up, and I'm gonna lift and lower that leg. So now I've got that pedal up, and I'm gonna just sweep that leg forward and back. Before bringing it in. And now I'm gonna send my hips back and then forward. And I'm gonna send them back and forward. Now I'm gonna send my hips back, and I'm gonna arch my back and round. I'm gonna arch and round. Now I'm gonna arch my back, come forward, round, go back. Arch, forward, round, back. I'm gonna just see if I can smooth that out a little bit. Arch, forward, round, back. Just a little spinal wave. And now maybe see, can you reverse it? Can you round forward, arch back, round forward, and then arch back. And then finally, we go to our kneeling mobility series on the other side. Kitties. One more on this side. And let's hold it down, and let's twist and twist. And then from here, just sit back and up. Now, go ahead and bring the pedal on up. And let's go ahead and just lift and lower that back leg. And then just do a few sweeps here, just mobilizing through those glutes. And bring that knee in and just send your hips on back. Pressing the hip. Now press the pedal down. Keep it down. Arch your back. Bring it up. Round. Back. Arch. Bring it up. Round. Back. Arch. Up. Right. Round. Arch. And up. Now go ahead and from here, let's go ahead and bring it all the way on up. And I'm gonna just go ahead and open my feet and go into this deep plie. Straighten my legs, bring it up. I'm gonna go ahead and flatten my back, come into this deep plie, round my spine, bring it on up. Deep plie, kind of flattening my back, round, bring it up. And now I'm gonna do the reverse. I'm gonna come up with this more flat back. I'm gonna round down, flatten, come up, and back. And from here, I'm just gonna send my hips back a little. I'm gonna roll all the way to come up. Now I'm gonna come back to the front of the chair. And I am going to just begin to get into a little bit of a core series. First, I'm going to start just reaching back with my feet down, toes are on the floor. You can always have something underneath your feet if you're a little bit on the petite side. And then I am going to bring my legs up, and I'm actually going to come forward a bit more. And you're always welcome to have your feet on something. Drawing my abs in, I'm going to start to take my pedal back and up. You can always have your feet on something in front of you. My wall's not too far away from me. And I'm really just mobilizing my shoulders. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my feet down. And I'm going to see if I can reach one hand to the back corner, bring it up with the opposite hand, reaching towards the corner of my room. And I'm just going to do a few here, really rotating. And really rotating. Draw my abs in, of course, as I do that. And then finally, let's go ahead and just hold one side and just lift and lower that top leg. I've got my bottom leg bent if you can see that. And then maybe from here, we can stack and maybe even bring a hand behind the knee, just a few little side bends. I've got my feet stacked. Let's go 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna come all the way up. I'm gonna transition right onto my hips. And I'm gonna reverse it. I'm gonna go up a little, down, just a little core power in between. And then I went all the way down, I stacked up, and I just did a few little side bends. And then let's go ahead and come all the way up with grace and control. Let's go ahead and bring it all the way down, starting our cool down. let's do a deep lunge into a pigeon. So let's do our deep lunge. I've got one foot outside and I'm gonna lift and lower. I'm keeping that pedal down. For right now, I'm lifting and lowering that back knee. And now with the back knee lifted, try lifting and lowering that pedal. Now I'm gonna keep that pedal down. I'm gonna lift that same arm. Maybe even bring it down and get really deep into that hip before taking the knee down and coming into this deep split. From here, I'm gonna bring the pedal on up and I'm gonna take this deep pigeon stretch, framing my hands on that xoxo chair. And let's go ahead and try that on the other side. Deep lunge. I've got my leg way outside and I'm gonna lift and lower. Actually, I'm gonna push the pedal down, lift and lower that back knee. And then I'm gonna keep the leg lifted, the knee lifted, and lift and lower that pedal. I'm gonna hold the pedal down and I'm gonna go into some deep splits. And I'm gonna hold the split. And then I'm gonna lift the pedal and come into a deep pigeon. And I hope you enjoyed this Catwoman cat stretch chair workout, this mobility and core workout on the Pilates chair. Tell me what you want to see next, and I will see you soon, kitties.